Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. She got something to say. um what am I saying? This is Time for Tea, a 144. If you're new here, my name is Monse. I am filming this on June 8th, okay? Because I filmed a video yesterday and it's still like preparing to upload. Okay, so it's not even uploading, it's preparing to upload. Again, they're playing with it, but whatever. So I'm just letting you guys know here that I am filming this on June 8th. Okay? Another thing I want to say, what I'm about to talk about might be triggering for people. People may not like it. People might be feeling some kind of way on what I'm going to say or what I'm going to talk about. If you start to, by all means, bye. If you don't want to hear it, okay? I come on here and I speak my truth in hopes that and things that the things that I've gone through in my life, things that have happened to me, things that have been done to me in my life, and how now that I am on this spiritual journey, I understand why those things had to happen to me, right? But that still doesn't stop me from being human, right? And being pissed off that motherfuckers that you thought were your family, the love of your life, the person you called husband, wife, or friend, best friend, sister, whatever, brother, cat, dog, bird, 144 as I'm saying this. When you're chosen, motherfuckers love to attack you. Okay, and evil knows no boundaries. Okay, evil doesn't have boundaries, so therefore evil is gonna attack whoever the fuck they're gonna attack. And it doesn't matter if it's a family member, it's a best friend, it's husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, like I said, dog, hell, the neighbor, you know what I'm saying? Like, evil knows no boundaries, so it's gonna attack a chosen one always. 222 as I'm saying that. Always, you're always going to be attacked in some way, shape, or form. Like they say, new levels, new devils. Period. And that's so true. And even when you are asleep, the people outside looking in see that light that you carry. Especially if they're playing for the dark side. They see that shit even more. Why? Because it triggers whatever demons they are walking with. Whatever negativity and entity, whatever it is that's with them, it triggers, your light triggers those people. And so what do? They immediately attack. However they do it. They bully you, spiritually attack you, magic, they be boppity booing, bullshit, all that bullshit. Okay? And then when you start to wake up and you're like, wait a minute. Wait, this doesn't make sense though. Because if my mom is saying this, and this, but I'm seeing this, and that, is she lying? Am I tripping? You start to think that you're losing your fucking mind. And you're not. The reason why you start to feel like that is because that's what they want you to do. Because this is going to be a way where they can be like, see? Look it. She's crazy. See, look it. She's talking crazy again. Oh, look it. She's out of her mind. She's delusional. Look how she's behaving. I think we got to get her help because I think she's losing her mind. 414 as I said that. Okay? So, like I said, it might be triggering for some people what I'm going to say. It might not be. I don't know. But this is, like I said, this is my story. This is my truth. And I just hope that with what I'm speaking on here helps somebody else. Because I know that I still don't know my full story yet. Okay? And I just saw 444. Yeah. I know that I don't know my full story yet. Okay? But what I do know of it, I know who the ringleader is. And that is my so-called mother. Okay. So, like I've said, I don't have memory of my childhood. Hell, I don't have a memory at all, to be quite honest. Okay. And I'm just gonna be like all the way transparent. Okay. I don't have a memory at all. At all. And I feel like that's on purpose, right? Because who in the hell, there's even people who smoke weed, okay, can remember shit. And I find it very hard to believe that I can't, that I don't have a memory or anything along those lines. Like, I can't remember anything about my childhood. I don't remember nothing. I do remember, see, this is the thing. I don't really like to talk about the things that I do remember. And this is trigger warning, okay? The reason why I feel like the reason why I can't talk about the things I remember, because my mother would always say that. She would always say things like, well, you shouldn't be talking about those people if you don't really remember the facts. Right? And I would always say, like, maybe she's right. Maybe I shouldn't say anything, because I can get somebody in trouble and they had nothing to do with it. Maybe she's right. And I would do that. I would stay quiet. I wouldn't say shit. But in my mind, like, my mind was working 24/7. Like, it was like the wheels were turning in my mind day and night. No stop. No breaks. Because I would always go back. I would always go back to what I remembered. And then, like, she would oppress it. She would, like, push it down for me. And call me crazy. She was the first one who started calling me crazy. And then my siblings followed. Especially my younger brother. That one, I honestly feel like he's my mother's little lap dog. That the bitch said, just threw him a bone and this fucker would run and get it. Type energy. Like that. And yes, I'm gonna insult them. I'm sorry. Because... calm down. Because I know that what I really want to do, I can't do. God is asking me not to, so I'm not going to. God is asking me to trust him and his team, and I'm doing just that. Ooh, and I just got really hot. Ooh, and I'm doing just that. So I'm trusting God, the divine, my ancestors, my celestial beings. I'm trusting every single one of them to take care of this situation for me, because I know that they're going to. And I don't have to do absolutely nothing. I know that the truth is going to come out. I just got foundation on my hair. I know the truth is going to come out. Okay. I know that it's more than likely going to be painful. Okay. Because I feel what I already know to be true is true. And then some. Okay. So, I can't, I could, right? I definitely could, right? Go up to her, give her all this fucking smoke, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna continue doing what I'm doing here, mind my business, protect my peace. I just saw 911. Protect my peace, protect my energy and my space. Because I have created this whole entire journey, and then leading up to the spiritual awakening that I had, all the work that I did is I created a safe bubble for me and my kids. For these people not to ever come back in my bubble. They are not welcome. My bubble, ooh. You know what I just got the image of? In that movie, what's it called? Twilight, but like the last one, when she had her daughter and Bella got her gift. You know how when she got her gift, like her gift was that shield, right? No, I got referred to that. Like, she got that shield and she put a protective shield over her husband and her daughter. So that's me right now. I have put a protective shield over me and my children, and I refuse to allow these motherfuckers to interrupt my life again. Okay? So yes, definitely I can pull up and give her all this fucking smoke, but I'm not gonna do that. So if you feel triggered that I insult them a little bit, it is what it is. And yes, I know that that's bad too, okay? I'm not saying that that's okay. Okay, I'm not saying because you didn't pull up, you should be sitting here calling them all kinds of crazy ass names. And I'm going to try my best not to do that. But if it does come out, pues, it is what it is, okay? That's just how I feel. I can't help it. Okay, I'm still learning how to be able to control these freaking emotions and like this anger. Okay, because these are things I wasn't expecting my life to be, okay? And yeah, so yeah, I know that my younger brother was her little lapdog that did her dirty work with her, for her, however it might be. Okay? So yeah, she was the first one who started calling me crazy and would say things like that. Like, no, you don't want to, why would you do this? And why would you say that? And blah, 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 blah. If you don't know, right? If you don't have like proof, or at least if your story was legit, and I would say, well, yeah, maybe she's right. No, not that, not this, not that, and the other. Oh man, God, this is the reason why I'm feeling a little anxious.
I need to shoot.
¿Ah?
I need to shoot.
No la meta en el cuarto, pues.
What's that, Mom?
Okay, bye, Sabrina.
What's that?
Mine.
What's that?
Powder.
Fire?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I like fire.
Okay, a Sabrina, pues.
Bye, Mom.
Bye, mi amor. So I'm gonna say something on here, and I'm gonna like I said, trigger warning. Okay, this is going to be a massive trigger warning. I have never shared this with anyone, and I really mean no one. And I'm being guided right now to say it. Okay, I'm being guided to say. Hold on. I'm being guided to say it, so I'm gonna say it. Okay. When I was younger, my mom would always send me to El Salvador. That's where she's from. Okay.
Is your mama?
That's where she's
got me
from.
to home?
She's from El Salvador. Okay. And
Mama, it got you home?
that's where she's from. So she would always send me to El Salvador. At the time, my grandma was living there, and her brother was living over there. So, but they were mean. My grandma was mean. My uncle, he was mean. We would sleep. My grandma had una pupuseria, basically like a restaurant. They're called pupuserias over there because they pretty much just sell pupusas. But yeah, my grandma was like a business lady, blah, 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 right? I was about to spray myself before putting on the other powder. And yeah, so my mom would always send us over there, right? And spirit. Like I said, I'm having massive anxiety right now about to say this, because like I said, I've never said anything to nobody. And then with the fact that she would always call me crazy, it would just even suppress it more. It would make me not want to speak my truth even more. And so I would get essayed by my uncle damn near every single night. Okay. And I told my mom when I got, actually, no, I'm lying. Or actually, you know what? Maybe that's a lie too. Okay. So I never told her. I'm lying. I never told her. But she said that she got a reading done. Okay, she got a reading done, and in that reading, they told her that that happened to me. She says, right, supposedly, that they told her in the reading that this happened to me. She took me to the doctor. The doctor checked me, and there was like no form of like penetration or anything like that, right? Okay. So I'm like, okay, but that doesn't mean it didn't happen. Well, how do you know it happened if you can't remember? So that became the thing. That became the thing. That became the narrative. Well, you don't remember. So, I mean, maybe it didn't happen. Maybe you dreamt it. Who in the fuck is dreaming of getting that, of that happening to them, right? Nobody's dreaming that. Nobody's dreaming that. Nobody's dreaming, oh yeah, I hope I get this by a family member. You know what I'm saying? I hope a family member comes through and does this to me. Like, nobody thinks like that, right? But again, because this happened when I was young. Honestly, I can't even tell you how old I was. All I know is that by the time I was like 7 or 8, weird things started happening to me. Weird things started happening. Just weird things started happening to me. Hold on. A lot of weird things started happening. So it was almost kind of like my memory was coming back. But then like when I would start to talk about it, and then she would ask me again. She would ask me again, who did you say did this and did that? And then I would be like, I would say the names of other uncles. But it's because I do remember other uncles doing that as well. Okay? It wasn't just her brother. I remember 2 of my other uncles doing that as well. But it's like I remember their faces, but I cannot remember where I was, whose house I was in, what house I was in. I remember also being in bed with some man that I have no idea who he is. I've never been in that house, and I remember that house. I remember that house, and I remember that man, but I don't know the house, and I don't know who the man is. You know, so she grabbed onto that shit and she didn't let it go. She was like, well, you know, you can't remember. You don't remember. So you're delusional. You're crazy. Like, you can't be out here. Oh, hold on, guys. Yeah, she would say things like, well, you can't be out here, you know, just randomly accusing people of, you know, doing that type of stuff because that's serious, and you just can't be accusing people if they haven't done anything, blah, 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 da, 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 da. And I'm like, she's right, though. I can't do that. So I stayed quiet for a long, long time. But we know, right, things always come out into the light, especially at the time, me not knowing yet that I was chosen, right, and not knowing that I had my spirit team with me the whole time. So it was almost like my spirit team pushing me not to leave this subject alone, and I would not leave it alone. I would always like come for her about it, and she would always call me weak. She would always call me weak. She would say things like, I almost got essayed and I didn't allow myself. I fought with tooth and nail to get out of that situation, and I did. Like, she makes it seem like she almost got, you know, raped by 3 men, and she karate chopped all of them and broke free. Right? Like she had a like heroic story of how she saved her life from getting raped. Now, I'm not saying that she was never in that situation. Maybe she was, maybe she wasn't. Only she knows. But knowing what I know about her, if she says 10 words, half of one word is the truth. And 9.5 are a lie. You see what I'm saying? That's what I get. That's what it is. You know, so, but at the time, I would never see it like that. And I'm not gonna lie, I would feel like shit every single time she would tell me that I was weak for not fighting back. That I was weak for not, for not fighting back. And she would always say it too. She would say, well, I'm not saying that you're weak. I'm not saying, but whoever doesn't want to get essayed or graded or anything like that, they're going to fight. They're not just going to sit there and take it. And I would always tell her, like, what makes you think I sat there and took it? I was a child. Like a 7-year-old child against a grown man. Do the math. 21 as I'm saying that, like, you know, like, do the fucking math. So yeah, so that's how my life went for like for years on years. Every time that subject would come up. And then after a while, supposedly, right, she was like, I'm sick of this. I'm not taking responsibility for the bullshit that somebody else did. This has been haunting me. She's like, you don't ever get over it. Just get over it already. It happened a long ass time ago. It happened da-da-da-da-da. But she doesn't understand what that did to my life. And now I understand that that was the purpose of it. Maybe she caused that to happen. Maybe she's the ringleader behind that as well. Because I do remember every time, because like I said, every time I try to get away from her, she would always come back with some fucking sob story. She never had her shit together. So she would always come back with some fucking sob story talking about, oh, I love my kids and I want to live with all my kids, blah, blah, blah. But the whole time she's stealing my money. Okay? But the whole time she's stealing my money. I'm paying rent, giving her the money to pay rent, and she's stealing my money. She's not paying the rent. 6 months later, here comes the landlord knocking on her door telling us that we need to get the fuck out because she hasn't paid rent in 6 fucking months. And I'm thinking to myself, bitch, where the fuck is the money that I've been giving you? Okay? So yeah, she always came back around with some fucking sob story. And like I said, I would always say, no, that's my mom. It's the only mom God gave me. So I gotta take care of her. I gotta make sure she's this. I gotta make sure she's good. You feel me? I feel like any kid thinks like that, right? Because she wasn't hell, she's never been a good mother. You know what I'm saying? But she's never been a good mother. And she loves to sit there and talk about mommies. And that's why I always say, like, I'm a girl's girl. I'm not the type of girl that looks at another female winning and hates on her for that. I could never be like that. I really just fucking can't. I don't know how to be like that. I don't know how to be like that. If you're a female and you see another female winning and you feel nothing but like joy or like that's cool shit, good for her. You feel me? Like, that's a different type of person. And if you see another female winning and all you feel is jealousy and hate, and you just want to hate on what they got going on, that for sure is a different type of person as well. And them motherfuckers exist. And not until finding out right now what's going on with my life, I never knew just how bad jealousy, like how far a jealous person can go. Like, just to the extremes how jealous someone can be of another person. Okay, and I'm finding that out right now because I feel like I don't want to make it sound like that because I hate to. It's because, like I said, I don't feel like that, so I don't like to talk about it like that. But it's what it's giving. It's giving like she's extremely jealous of whatever it is about me, and I don't even know. Okay, I don't even know what it is. It could be just the spiritual gifts. Okay, it could be just that. You know, I know she was jealous of the fact that I had at the time, right? A loving husband, a loving home, amazing children. Hold on. Yeah. So, a lot of things now are making sense on why. And the things that I do remember, I know they happened to me like I can't even tell you, but this is how I remember it. I remember when I was younger, we used to live in some apartments. And now that I think about it, now that I know just to what levels she's capable of going to, I'm getting a feeling that what I'm about to say was done on purpose. And who I was with, I don't think I was with anybody. I think I was alone. But, or who knows, because I do remember. Okay, so I was in some apartments, and I remember being in a closet playing with a candle. It was lit. Me and my brother were playing with like matches, and we lit the candles, and we were like pouring the wax in the on top of like a plastic bag. Yes, I know. Okay, do not do that. Okay, I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying like the stupid ass shit we were fucking doing. Okay, I'm not saying you should do that. You should never fucking do that. But I remember that was the cause of the apartment going up in flames. But then now that I'm older, I go back to that time and I remember being outside of the apartment and somebody was carrying me. Okay, so I had to have been really young. So I don't know how to explain it. It's like a dream, but it's a reality. Does that make sense? Okay. So, and I just remember the apartment like in full force of flames. Like we burned the shit out of that apartment. But now that I think about it, like I don't think that what we were doing. I don't think that what we were doing should have been the cause of a fire of that extent. Yeah, so it wasn't, it shouldn't have been, or at least I don't think so. It shouldn't have been a fire of that type of, dude, it's like, okay, let's say there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 stories, right? And we burned half of it. Like it was a massive fire. And I don't think that what we were doing should have extended to that amount. I think maybe if we like lit the shit, right? Maybe our apartment and maybe the apartment next door or something like that. Right? Because I mean, there's apartments, there's fire alarms, there's the things come out like it's like in a school, right? They have those little shower thingies for fire. You see what I'm saying? Like, and I remember being outside in the street and I remember ambulance and the fire department. I remember all that. But these are the things that I'm saying. So we're 30 minutes into the video. If you are resonating, stick with me, please. Okay? Because you're not crazy. You're not delusional. Just because you don't remember certain things or certain pieces to the puzzle of your life does not mean you're crazy. And don't allow motherfuckers like this bitch to infiltrate your mind and make you think that you are crazy. or make you think like how she would say, right, oh, you shouldn't talk about people if you don't have concrete proof. I have proof. I'm telling you now. I remember the shit that my uncle used to do to me and my younger brother. Because sometimes she would send us to El Salvador and I would go with my younger brother. We would sleep on the floor, like on concrete, with like a little tiny sheet for the both of us. And we would wake up and we would have like paint on our face, like actual paint that you paint houses with, that kind of paint. Because he would paint our faces. Just a freak. He's weird. He has problems. My uncle, her brother, he has problems. Like, for real. He needs help. He needs to get checked. The Lord is, the Most High is, no, anden trying to quítese de aquí, pues. Hold on, guys. Yeah, he needs help. He's sick. Mentally, he's sick. He's not, no. And I know that the Most High, he is God Almighty for sure. Because he has children, okay? But he doesn't have daughters. And that's a good thing. I feel like the Most High knew not to give this man daughters. 31. The Most High knew not to give this man daughters. Because he knew what he would do to those daughters. And even though, like I say, even though I don't remember everything, one thing I do know is that when shit was being done to me, his face is the one I remember the most. And there's no questioning that. And I know that probably because they're siblings, right? She's saving his ass because she knows how disgusting he is. The type of human being he is. The type of waste of skin he is. Just like her. Just like her. Just like her. Poor excuse for a human being. Okay? A poor excuse for a human being. And so, also, I want to say this. Another one, right? She would always tell me that, because I have an older brother who's resting in peace now. And I think he knew. I think he knew exactly what and who she was and who she is. And the reason why I say that is because if I never wanted to fuck with her, I left my house when I was 15. I've told you guys before, I left. I didn't know where I was going. I had no money, no job. It was a baby on the streets. I was 15. Hopping from couch to couch, friend to friend, being a little promiscuous out here in these streets just to survive. You know what I'm saying? Not even having fucking money for fucking tampons. You know what I mean? Like, she was... But I preferred that instead of living with her. That's crazy, right? I preferred all that. I slept in park benches. I slept at homie's house, friend's house, this place, that place, and the other place, blah, 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 and so forth and so forth. That was my life growing up. Okay. But like I said, that is what I chose instead of living at home with her. At the time, I thought it was the best thing because I didn't want to be living with her. So I have an older brother who's resting in peace now. And she would always tell me that when I came into the picture, he didn't want me there. He didn't want me there, that he would always say that he was happy being an only child, blah, 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 la, la, la. Like, she would always make me want to dislike him, like to hate him. Like, she tried to turn me against him, is what it was feeling like. Like, she wanted me to, yeah, just to know, not to fuck with him or anything. And I would always say, why? But then when he would come around, it was the total, he was so good to me. He would, oh my God, I'm gonna cry. I'm not gonna do it. Yeah, so he was so good to me. And so it never even dawned on me to ask him that, if what she was saying was the truth, that he didn't want me. And she would always say this story that one time we were at somebody's house, right? And we were at somebody's house and he threw me in the pool. And he was drowning me. He was like shoving my head in the water, drowning me. Or trying to drown me, right? And she saw him and rescued me and blah, 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 . Like, she was like this motherfucking superhero when it came to me, apparently. Yet, I never felt that. Right? But whatever. And once I started the spiritual journey, Spirit showed me that it wasn't him that was drowning me. It was her. She was drowning me. She had him on her lap. So it's almost like I was in the pool. I could see myself in the pool, and I can see her just like with just a fucking face, dude, just like shoving me down, like, die, bitch, die type energy. And she was holding him. She was holding him right here like this while she was like pushing me down in the water. And it didn't work. So I feel, and this is a long shot, right? But I'm just going to say what I'm thinking. I feel that she's been trying to unalive me for quite some time. And because I am a divine child of God, it didn't happen for her. And I can guarantee you, because I know her, she is pressed that a bitch still here. I can guarantee you that. She is pressed that I'm still here. Because I have a very strong feeling of that. And as a high priestess, okay, a divine feminine, the intuition never lies. And like I said, I have a very strong feeling that she's been trying to unalive me for quite some time. And just because of due to the grace of God is why I'm still here.
No.
See, mommy, is why I'm still here. Okay. Okay, see, mommy, is why I'm still here. Because of the grace of God, my ancestors. And I know that what I'm speaking on now, there is no way in hell that she can come out of the woodworks and say, oh, she's crazy, she's lying, she's delusional. Because that narrative is dead now. Okay. Compártela con Anthony. Okay.
My finger.
Oh, okay. I am fully awake. I am fully awake, and there is no chance in hell that you can sit here and now say, like I said, that narrative is dead. You cannot say, oh, well, she's a liar. We can't believe her because, she be lying, or she be making up shit, or she be saying this happened, but she don't really remember. So then how do we really believe that it happened? You know what I'm saying? Like, those were her, the things she would say, right? And yeah, that narrative is done and over with. It doesn't work no more. It doesn't work anymore. So I just want to say to those of you that resonate with my story a little bit, don't throw in the towel, okay? I know things get hard, really, really fucking hard, especially when you're on this journey. Okay, things can get hard, things can get difficult. People attack you, people betray you. The person you thought that was the love of your life, the person that you thought was your mother, the person that you thought, like, I honestly, ooh, look at that. Truth, okay? Facts. One thing I know about myself, that when I start channeling and I start speaking the facts, the truth, the real shit, my nose starts to itch. I was about to say my ear starts to itch. Like, I start to itch. I don't know why. It's weird. But yeah, I start to itch. So, I want to tell you that it's going to be okay. Yes? Ahorita.
I think.
Yeah, go ahead. It's going to be okay. All right? It's going to be okay. If you know half of the truth, Spirit is going to show you the other half. Trust me. Just have patience. Continue doing what you're doing. Mind your P's and Q's. And I know that confirmation. I know that if your story is like mine, or kind of like mine, or similar to mine, or maybe you've gone through like something that deep like mine, know that your justice is coming. Especially if you are a divine child of God. Whew. There's no way in hell, whatever the narrative, whoever made up a narrative about you, right? That you were a liar, that you're crazy. Again, you're not crazy. I'm not crazy. I know I'm not crazy. No matter how much they try to really drill that narrative into people's minds that I'm a liar and I'm a crazy person and I'm losing my mind and I need help. I feel like these are people that, hold on. I feel like these are people that project how they feel onto you, right? So they're calling you a liar because they can't tell the truth to save their lives. If they're calling you delusional, right? It's because the Delulus are someone else. If they're saying, well, collective out here is, from the streets and for the streets. It's because that's who they are. Hold on. Like, collective is from the streets and for the streets. Because that's one thing she used to love to say about me. She used to go to random people. Like, if she would meet somebody random, the first thing, her topic was always me. I'm a whore. I'm a slut. I'm thotting and bopping and dropping it low. You know what I'm saying? Bueno, pues.
Mama just want to get the whole thing.
No, mama, poquito.
Okay, sácate.
Dropping it low and thotting and bopping and doing whatever, right? Like, when, again, like I said, like I said, when you're asleep, you live a really crazy life, okay? 43. And like I said in my last video, it's not a cop-out. I'm not trying to say, oh, well, because I was asleep, it was okay. Nah. I'm not saying that. But there's certain things that you go through in life that make you do other things. For survival, because you're lost, because you're asleep, because you don't understand, because you don't know your worth, because you don't know, you haven't practiced self-love. Mateo, me traes un peine, papi, creo que está en el baño. Because you don't practice self-love, because you don't think you deserve it, because you think like, well, my family ain't shit, my wife ain't shit, cousins ain't shit, my best friend ain't shit, then maybe I'm the problem. Maybe because they all betrayed me. Yeah, maybe I'm the problem. 444, I'm the issue. You start to think like that, and you really start to believe that, because that's what I did. I had a best friend. And every time, like, when I would be in a relationship, like the relationship would end, whatever, right? But I would be in relationships for years. Like this best friend, he was my boyfriend at one time. We were together for 4 years. And he just, like his alcoholism, it was like, I couldn't do it no more. Okay? And then after him, I dated somebody for 6 years. And it was a waste of time, you know? And then I would just say that. I'm like, oh my God, maybe it's me. I would cry and tell him, like, maybe it's me. Maybe this is not working out because I'm the problem. It's not the guy. It's me. Even though the guy was an alcoholic and the other one was a fucking liar, a cheater and a liar. But I would never see that. I would always say it was me. That I'm the reason why, you know, the relationship, the relationship didn't work. It was because of me. You see what I'm saying? So that's what we do. We say, oh, we're the problem. And we start to be mean to ourselves and talk shit to ourselves and degrade ourselves and start probably giving up the cookie, I was going to say the cookie, but I started to think another word and I said, but you know, you probably out here giving up the cookie to whoever, you know, walks down your path. Or maybe you picked up the bottle, or maybe you picked up, I don't know, gambling, or maybe you picked up, you know, some form of addiction, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be drugs, but some form of addiction. You know, that you were just going through life, like this is life and you're just going through it. You're not stopping and like looking around and actually living it. You're just going through it. You're going through it because you're just drinking day and night. And when you started drinking Sunday, and then when you're like, oh fuck, I got a massive hangover, and you're like coming back to reality, you're like, what day is it? Bitch, Friday. So I've been drinking Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? I've been drinking for 6 days. You know what I'm saying? Like that. You wake up somewhere that you don't even know how the fuck you got there. Huh? What? Okay, I'm coming. Hold on, guys. Yeah, so you don't really, you know, give a shit about yourself. You know, so you do things that go along with that vibe, right? You do things that are not very high vibing. Like you wouldn't do that shit to yourself now, right? Being on this journey, you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't mistreat yourself like that. I know sometimes like this is tough, right? Like maybe meeting someone and not maybe having like a physical encounter with someone. Sometimes, yes, that is difficult, but I feel like this time, if you are doing that, Anthony, bájale. I'm gonna say this, just be careful. You know, maybe in the past you were like that, and that's probably why you don't want to be like that now, or why you wouldn't want to have that encounter with somebody now. But I would just say this, just be careful, okay? Just be careful, protect yourself, okay? And just pay attention. You know, I feel like before, right? Let's say, for example, before you were, you know, dropping it like it's hot out here in these streets, you didn't have a, what is it called? Standards. You didn't have standards. Maybe you were just, again, like I said, you were lost. We were lost. Okay? And you were just giving it up to whoever flashed you a smile. No, now a motherfucker gotta work for it. And if he's willing to work for it, then that means that maybe he deserves it. Or she deserves it. And you give it up. Right? But you're not just putting it on the menu like, here it is. Wait, free for all. No, we're not doing none of that. We're keeping it locked and unlocking it when we feel that we're ready to do so. Okay? once again, I'm not crazy. I know the things that happen to me. Even though they're a little foggy still. Ooh, I want to cry again. Even though things are a little foggy still, and I don't have all the pieces, I know Spirit's going to show them to me. I know Spirit's going to bring me the truth. And if I'm getting emotional like this, I feel like the rest of the pieces that I'm missing are going to be really hard to swallow. It's going to be a really tough situation for me. Because if I already have like an idea of what happened to me, being told, yep, that right there is exactly what happened. Oh, and not only that, this too. I feel like my jaw is going to just hit the floor. And all I'm asking God is for me to be able to understand. Because I continue to say, right, I understand now why things needed to happen, but we're still human, right? If they tell me, like, okay, yeah, your mom was doing this, that, and the other, and this, that, and the other, and blah, 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 da, 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 da. Because I'm not going to lie, it's giving sex trafficking. Okay? It's giving that. If I remember a lot of different men, it's giving sex trafficking. That's just how I feel. Especially that one of those men, I don't even know who they are. I've never been to their home. I've never been in that home. And I was there. And I was laying in his bed. And he was laying right next to me. I don't remember him touching me or anything. But he was laying right next to me. And it was an old man. And I remember that when, because in El Salvador, the rich people have like servants or maids and stuff like that. And I remember when his maid was coming up, he heard her footsteps and he threw me off the bed. He threw me off. I fell on the floor. I remember that shit like it happened yesterday. So I know I'm not fucking crazy. I know that the things that I'm talking about are things that are resurfacing. Like my memory is coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now. Celine Dion, yes. Thank you. And I just saw 555. Change is coming. Change is coming. The truth is coming. Balance is coming. Justice is coming for all these motherfuckers that tried it. Okay, for every single one of them that tried it. And trust me, believe me when I say this, the only person, and I'm just going to be real, that I feel for are my kids. Because I know that my motherfucking punk ass ex-husband teamed up with her bitch ass to attack me. Meanwhile, they were doing the do, okay? Under my house. They were living in my home doing bullshit under my nose. And you know how I know? Because in the year, I want to say 2023 or 22. And this is why I know that I have Orichas with me, dude. What's her name? Santa Marta. I was asleep. And she kicked in my door to my bedroom. And I remember I woke up and I sat up and I saw her. And she said, they're playing you right underneath your nose and you don't even see it.
Mommy.
Yeah, she said it. She said, they're betraying you and right underneath your nose and you don't even see it. And I went up to her because she was living with me at the time. Because like I said, she never had her shit together. But no, she made her way back into my house and into my life. Why? Because she knew that the way when she first came, she saw me and my husband were good. Me and my husband were good. We were like at an all-time high as far as financially, with our family, in our relationship, in our marriage. We were spending so much time with our kids. We were spending time together, me and him. Like at the moment, I feel that my marriage was in bliss, in harmony. That's how I felt. And she came in and fucked it up. But that's how I felt. Now, I feel like she did me a fucking favor. Because this motherfucker on his own has fucking issues. On his own. He has his own shit. So that's why it was very easy for her to manipulate, to come up against me. 5'5", 5'5". I'm telling you. It was very easy to manipulate his ass so he can go and work with her so they can come and attack me. Meanwhile, they were having a relationship or doing the do, whatever it was, because I know that's what she does to men. She loves to talk about how she hates sexual relations and she doesn't like to have sex. She always told us that. Since we were younger, she tried to put that in our mind. And I'm thinking to myself, like, bitch, who doesn't like sex? That is a lie. Maybe there's people who don't frequently do it, but when they do it, okay? So there's nobody on this earth that does not like that. I mean, that's just how I think. There's people who are celibate, right? And don't even date because why? They know that if they do date, they could definitely be giving up the cookie, be giving up the sausage to somebody, right? Because you already know what that feels like, and it feels great to be connecting with somebody in that way. It's not just wham bam thank you ma'am for some people. For some people, it's a really spiritual connection that you have with somebody like that. Not her though. For her, it's a way to manipulate these men to do things for her. It's like a Jezebel type energy that she has. And so because, like I said, because this fucker has his own issues, it was very easy to manipulate him into coming with her and doing these things. Attacking me, lying, while they were doing whatever they were doing. Like I said, I know I'm going to find out. Spirit's going to put it out there for me. And I started speaking about it before he left. Okay? And I'm going to continue to talk about it. I'm not going to stay quiet. I'm not. I feel like I was put like a piece of tape over my mouth. And for whatever reason, I never just started speaking until now. And like I said, I just shared something on here that I have never shared with anybody. Nobody knows about that. No one. Just my siblings and my mother. They are the only ones. I've never sat down with anyone to talk about it. Because to me, it's shameful. And then from the person that it's coming from, right? Me thinking it's an uncle. I mean, hell, it's her brother. But now finding out that we don't even share the same blood, like I said, that is another blessing. I can't tell you what a relief it is to know that I am not related to them. We do not share the same blood whatsoever. I am not part of your lineage. I never have been. And you knew that. And that is the reason why you came for me. But now you are about to see just how powerful my God is. I didn't have to do anything. My angels, my ancestors, the Most High, Mary Magdalene, Jesus, La Virgen María. And I can name so many more. I just heard Anubis is coming for you. Okay? So don't be ashamed or scared to share your story. Okay? Because you'd be surprised of the stories from others, you know, that what they've gone through as well. So don't be ashamed of your story. Tell your story. Speak your truth. Use whatever platform you are using to put your truth out there. And not only so somebody else can resonate and say, wow, look at Collective. They are winning out here, looking fine as hell, shining as hell, bright, beautiful, amazing, gorgeous, wonderful human being inside and out. And you will never, ever think that they were living in parks, that they were SA'd, that they were raped, that they were abused physically, however, mentally, however it was. Because I honestly got hit from all angles. Physically, mentally, verbally. Like every form of abuse that you can think of, I went through it. Okay? So, I love you so, so much. The Most High loves you so, so much. And I hope that this video encourages you to, yes, speak your truth. Don't be scared anymore. Remove that tape out of your mouth and say whatever it is you need to, 144. Whatever it is you need to say, because you are chosen. You are protected. Okay? You are chosen. You are protected. You are a divine child of God. And a divine child of God who doesn't do anything from a place of ego, does everything from the heart space. Who is kind and loving and caring, doesn't seek revenge, is not malicious, doesn't have a malicious bone in their body, is always going to win. 222. Evil does not overcome good. It just doesn't. Okay? Evil will never win. Evil will never prosper. The Most High, His power, what He possesses, is always going to win. So keep doing things the way you have been doing them. Continue to stay in a place of love and peace. Protect your energy. Stay away from these motherfuckers. If you know who they are, even if you have a hunch, if you're like, oh no, because they've always acted funny. Like I remember that one time. Oh yeah, and there was that one time. Stay away. It's for a reason. And just trust that your divine team, your spirit team is going to show you. Because if you are already feeling that hunch, pay attention to that intuition. It's for a reason. You're not being paranoid, and you're not crazy, and you're not a liar and a manipulator. These are all the bullshits that they try to project on us, because this is the shit that they're doing. I can guarantee you that they're out here saying that I'm bippity bopping some bullshit, right? That I'm the witch, that I'm the dark witch, that I practice magic. Fuck yeah. Hell the fuck yeah, I do. But my shit is done in the light. Okay? My shit is done in the light. And for the light. Period. White witch. Okay? My shit is done in the light. I work for the Most High, not for the beast. Okay? I am one of the Most High. I am part of His army of warriors. That's me. That's who I am. I don't do no black magic, dark magic, any bullshit like that is not for me. That is not what I do. Okay? I love you guys so much. I know this was a long one. I don't know why I felt guided to do this, but I hope this makes you feel better. I don't know. I feel like this had to be for somebody. If you stuck around to the whole video, thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I love you guys so much. I'm going to continue to be making videos like this. Like I said, if you didn't like the video, pues ni modo. I'm not here to what do they say? Like, no soy monedita de oro pa caerles bien a todos. You know, I'm not here to, like, what's that? To people please. I'm just here to tell my truth. That's it. This is my truth. If you liked it, cool. Hit the like. And if you didn't, pues ni modo. It's good. I love you guys so much. Don't forget to hit the like, comment, share, subscribe to the channel. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.